What's up, everybody? Here's a typical warm up that I take myself through before I get after it. First things first, I always address the core. So, as you can see, I'm here, doing a plank walkout. Not really concerned about my lower half, just kind of bending my knees, walking my hands. I'm bringing my hands past my shoulders so that I can activate my serratus and my lats as well as my core. Obviously, when you're doing something like this, you do want to engage your core as best you can. So you should be pulling your belly button to your spine or bracing your core as you're doing these, and always focusing on breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Next thing I go do is a lower body movement. Here's just a regular lunge, and I'm adding a side reach to get a little bit more of a stretch through my side body, open up my hip flexor a little bit. This usually feels really good for me, especially if I'm going to do some form of lower body training. So on this day in particular, I did some hang clean, so I had to make sure that my hip flexors were nice and loose, and I was able to extend my hips the way I needed to. This is one of my favorite ones. This is the hip cradle to a side lunge. Again, just loosening up my hips, increasing the range of motion with each one of these reps. Again, focusing on my breathing. I like to inhale into the lunge and then exhale when I push back. And I'm staying nice and tall here as I pull my foot up to where my waistline is. So I'm just hugging that leg and pulling it nice and high, staying nice and tall, trying not to round my spine at all. I don't want my spine to round as I'm doing these, so I'm staying nice and tall. 5 reps each side. I love this one. Gets my hips ready to go. And then as you see, I'm going right into a single leg reach to balance, opening up that posterior chain, and just getting good stability here, nice and early in the warm-up. Again, typically you really only need 5 to 7-ish minutes. Anything longer than that, I tend to see kind of takes away from the actual main body of work. So I want to get after it, get my heart rate up, get my blood flowing, maybe break a little sweat. And then I'm ready to go to the main work. Next here I have frog hops. This is a fun primal movement. This is just another thing to activate the core and get my upper body feeling nice and good. So I do a few of these forward and backward. I like to have fun with this kind of stuff. You don't want to make the warm-up boring. From there I go right into tuck jumps. So the tuck jumps are going to get my central nervous system firing because I'm doing a plyometric. This also spikes my heart rate, so if you do these, you'll start to breathe pretty heavy. From there, I jump right down to push-ups, to a T rotation. Another great exercise, obviously for your chest, your upper body, your shoulders, but also for your core. This is a great one, and actually your triceps and your shoulders are going to be taxed by the end of this set of 10. So if you're just starting off, you can always do these from a kneeling position, and that's the greatest way to start, by doing push-ups to get the same benefit, but it's a little bit easier for you, especially if you're just getting into training. So if I were you, just do these from a kneeling position. Then I jump right into a frontal plane exercise. These are speed skaters. Again, another plyometric, gets my heart rate going. Fun, reminds me of my athletic days. I like that one a lot. This next one is a great exercise just to activate the upper body and the glutes. I got this from yoga class, just a bridge, and you're reaching on one arm, extending your hips up to the sky with each rep. And then I move on to a star plank. These are great, very challenging. You can do these on your hand as well. I like to do them on the forearm. Again, bracing the core, lifting the hips, extending the leg, and then back down. Those are very tough. And now I conclude the warm-up just with a single leg glute bridge. Again, activating the posterior chain. I like to do one side at a time, and I pull that other leg toward my chest to increase the stretch. And then here I'll finish lastly with some air squats. Once these are complete, I am ready to rock and roll and do the main work of the day. Hope you found this helpful. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos.